Nearly 1 year and 6 months after she and Noonan, her co-pilot, disappeared, Earhart was officially declared dead. Investigations and significant public interest in their disappearance still continue over 80 years later. There has been considerable speculation on what happened to Earhart and Noonan. Most historians hold to the simple crash and sink theory, but a number of other possibilities have been proposed, including several conspiracy theories. Some have suggested that Earhart and Noonan survived and landed elsewhere, but were either never found or killed, making en route locations like Tarawa unlikely. Proposals have included the uninhabited Gardner Island, 400 miles from the vicinity of Howland, the Japanese-controlled Marshall Islands, 870 miles at the closest point of Amelia Atoll, and the Japanese-controlled Northern Mariana Islands, 2,700 miles from Howland. The Gardner Island hypothesis assumes that Earhart and Noonan, unable to find Howland Island, would not waste time searching for it, instead turning to the south to look for other islands. The 157/337 radio transmission suggests they flew a course of 157 degrees that would take them past Baker Island. If they missed this, then sometime later they would fly over the Phoenix Islands, now part of the Republic of Kiribati, about 350 nautical miles south-southeast of Howland Island. One of the Phoenix Islands, known as Gardner Island, now Nkomororo, has been the subject of inquiry as a possible crash landing site. Another theory is that Earhart and Noonan were captured by Japanese forces, perhaps after somehow navigating to somewhere within the Japanese South Seas Mandate. In 1966, CBS correspondent Fred Gorner published a book claiming that Earhart and Noonan were captured and executed when their aircraft crashed on the island of Saipan, part of the Northern Mariana Islands archipelago. Saipan is more than 2,700 miles away from Howland Island, however. Later proponents of the Japanese capture hypothesis have generally suggested the Marshall Islands instead, which, while still distant from the intended location, 800 miles, is slightly more possible. A slightly different version of the Japanese capture hypothesis is not that the Japanese captured Earhart, but rather that they shot down her plane. Henri Kieser-Andre, a former Pan Am pilot, propounded this view in his 1993 book Age of Heroes, Incredible Adventures of a Pan Am Pilot and His Greatest Triumph, unraveling the mystery of Amelia Earhart. In 2017, a History Channel documentary called Amelia Earhart, The Lost Evidence, proposed that a photograph in the National Archives of Jalawat Atoll in the Marshall Islands was actually a picture of a captured Earhart and Noonan. The World War II-era movie Flight for Freedom, 1943, is a story of a fictional female aviator, obviously inspired by Earhart, who engages in a spying mission in the Pacific. The movie helped further a myth that Earhart was spying on the Japanese in the Pacific at the request of the Franklin D. Roosevelt administration. A rumor that claimed that Earhart had made propaganda radio broadcasts as one of the many women compelled to serve as Tokyo Rose was investigated closely by George Putnam. According to several biographies of Earhart, Putnam investigated this rumor personally, but after listening to many recordings of numerous Tokyo Roses, he did not recognize her voice among them. The theory that Earhart may have turned back mid-flight has been posited. She would then have tried to reach the airfield at Rabaul, New Britain, northeast of mainland Papua New Guinea, approximately 2,200 miles from Howland Island. In 1990, Donald Angwin, a veteran of the Australian Army's World War II campaign in New Britain, contacted researchers to suggest that a wrecked aircraft he had witnessed in jungle about 40 miles southwest of Rabaul on April 17, 1945, may have been Earhart's Electra.